What's up, my Moon Tribe? I'm Haley. Welcome to Moon Tribe Tarot. This is for the star sign of Libra from January 15th now to the 31st for what it is that you need to know. This is a cross of truth. I have already gone ahead off camera and shuffled your cards for you. These are general messages only, which means take what resonates and leave behind what does not. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me where your readings will 100% correlate to your story because they are for you, you can find the information in the description box down below on how to get a hold of me. So let's get right on to it. I've already pulled the basis, the Hierophant. Desires, the Chariot, helpful. Page of Cups, the Five of Cups is not helpful. The outcome was the Ten of Wands. I also pulled Clarity. We got the Lovers. These are both kind of outcome cards, but they were supposed to clarify each other. So, in the basis, the Hierophant represents an actual Taurus, or it could literally represent conformity into a societal status, whereas you get a job, you go to school, you get a job, you get a house, you get a girlfriend, you get married. That white picket fence type of like American dream-esque thing, that kind of what you're supposed to do in society. But more so, it can also involve partnerships. This comes up for relationships. It also comes out for needing to seek counsel or wisdom from somebody that is of a higher standard, that has seen it all. The desires is to, so the Chariot represents the need to get into the chariot to drive yourself to success. It is a success card if you would like to decide to put the work in. And since this is in your desires, you desire to put the work into something and to see it to fruition. For your helpful, we got the Page of Coins, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. So this is also you, Virgo. We got this as a new beginning. It is, I always say that, even though they're not technically new beginnings, they herald in messages of new beginnings. They can be literal people. They would be kind of like their lower self, but they usually represent messages of new financial growth or new emotional abundance. So it's possible that this could be a job or some sort of emotional field where whatever it is that they say will give you at least some sort of emotional stability. And you're not helpful in the, helpful desires? And you're unhelpful, I can't remember the word of it, in your, what is going against you, you have the Five of Cups, and the Five of Cups is a disappointment card. This card can come up for loss, it can come up for feeling disappointed about something, but from the outcome, I didn't really get a sense that this is more of a walking away from something, because sometimes it can follow that, but more so I did get this as a disappointment card. Now, I want to point out something in this card. So you can see in the card that the person is walking away. Well, he's seeing the spilt cups and he's like turned his back against to it. But if you see here, there are two cups still remaining tall. So it's kind of like a don't cry over spilt milk. It's kind of like what's going against you is that you are looking at things. Maybe something happened in an area of love, work, home, whatever it is. Something happened in an area of work or love or whatever it is. And you're looking at the bad. You're focused on, this is bad. This is like a fucking, like the Amazon wildfire. This is bad. When in reality, it isn't. And I don't want to like knock anybody down with that. But it's not that there isn't anything wrong, but there are still cups remaining standing, that there's still opportunity here, there's still opportunity. But this card going against you would say that you were looking at this as a disappointment, you're looking at this as not a total loss, but you are somewhat disappointed in whatever scenario. And I think what it is, we got the Ten of Cups. This is not the Ten of Cups, this is the Ten of Wands, and then we got the Lovers. So these are kind of, I did read them kind of separate, but kind of together, so I'll get into that in a second. Let's just focus on this. The Ten of Wands represents, in a lot of cards, in a lot of decks, it represents like this ultimate struggle. It's like it's seen as an overburden of taking on too much at once, and that is what it does mean in this deck, but it also kind of means, if you would, the Knight of Wands is very, very similar to this, where the Knight of Wands loves everything. He wants to do it all at once, so he takes all the experience and he's at risk of dropping it. That is what that feeling is. You have taken on a lot. There's a lot of time or effort being put into one aspect of your life, and it feels like you are having a hard time balancing it all. And the Lovers literally denotes to some sort of choice. It is specific in my book that it does not have to be love, but it's the Lovers. So oftentimes it can actually indicate a big choice to be had in love, but ultimately it kind of just represents a big choice to be made in general. It represents choices. So the thing that I'm getting with this spread is that since you desire to put the work in, I definitely feel like things are going to be kind of like I'm going to be honest, I feel like this is going to be kind of having a hard time juggling all things at once, and not just in the area of love. I feel like you are juggling multiple things because you want to see it all, you don't like saying no to people, and you want to say yes, yes, yes all the time, and your desires is to do it all. You want to get there, you want to do it all, but at the same time, it's kind of like knocking you down a little bit. It's kind of, there's some sort of disappointment attached to this where it's like, oh, I can't, I have my limits. I'm not really 100% like able to do this the way that these people would like me to. And the message that I am going to tell you, Virgo, is that it's okay. It is okay for you to take your time on whatever it is that you need to do to make the choices that you need to make. You don't have to carry all this. And if you carry all this for a continuous amount of time, it's just going to fall from you anyway. So it's best to decide right now what it is that can be, safely maintained, what can be safely put down, because I see that you want to do it all. There is a new beginning here. There is definitely some sort of new fruitious emotional abundance or gain. It could be a job or it could be a relationship, but it's definitely one of the either. And the message here is kind of, I don't want to say take it slow because I've been telling you that for like forever, but I kind of do, because it's kind of the same thing I would tell the Knight of Wands, is that it's okay. You don't have to carry all of this energy around because it's going to leave you emotionally dissatisfied. I feel like it's going to come to a time where it's almost like the Four of Cups, where it might suck up all of your energy, and you might be like, well, fuck, I can't do it all. I kind of just want to like isolate myself, and that's not a bad thing. But the message here is definitely to take a little bit of time, definitely figure out what things can be safely placed so you don't drop everything, because this is a penultimate. This is a penultimate of, I've taken on way too much. I got to figure out my burdens. I got to figure out, where I got to place things. But overall, I do not see this going in a negative direction. Let me pull a card for where this goes. Where does this lead for Virgo? The Moon. Okay. So, we got a little bit of an anxiety spread here. It goes, since I feel like for a lot of you this is going to be a new relationship, I feel like a lot of you are going to be afraid of it. I feel like a lot of you are going to get in your head about it, wonder where this goes, wondering what's the right thing to do. But it's also, this is a card of empathy. It's a card of it's not necessarily, the Moon can be painted in a pretty negative light, but honestly for me the Moon is literally just denoting to needing the full answers before you embark on something fully. And I'm going to read you the advice, because I know what the advice is, but I know that my book does it better than I can manage. So, oops. Okay. I'm going to read you the whole thing. Even if you think you have all the facts, you probably do not. There is more going on here than meets the eye, and making decisions right now is problematic because it's hard to know what is true and what is false. These issues can either be internal or external. The dark is temporary, and eventually the light of day will bring clarity. Try not to make decisions right now. Instead, dig below the surface to determine what is real and what isn't. If you can't figure it out, just wait and time will take care of it. And I kind of got that really, really heavy for you, especially with the Lovers, with the choice. There's some sort of large amount of choice that you have to make about this. And I definitely feel like it is less so. I feel like for a lot of you, this is going to be a new relationship. But I feel like for a lot of it could be a job, but for some of you, it's going to be a new relationship. I feel like, or that you are like trying to see where a relationship would go. And this is kind of a card of saying, you don't know the whole truth. Not in like a bad way. I'm not trying to scare you, but it's more of a card of you don't fully know this person, so you're anxious kind of thing. Like you need to find all your ducks. You got to make sure you know all the answers. You need to make sure you know the whole story before making this big choice, before making this commitment, because I do see it coming in, but it's about making that commitment. It's about if you want to commit. I definitely see this as a do you want to commit kind of spread. And that could also be for work. It doesn't just have to be relationships. But alright, this doesn't happen often. This was at the bottom of the deck, and I had actually, all my cards, I thought they were facing this way, but they were facing upright. And this was at the very bottom. So, this is a direct message from Spirit. It means that it does go the way that you intend it to go. It does lead to a family life. It does lead to stability. It does lead to the penultimate. This is a penultimate for the Ten of Pentacles. That is the highest it can get. It is a family situation. It is a family card. Homework, let's just say work and relationship, because it is associated with both. This is a family card, this is a job card. So if you're making a choice about a job, know that right now you don't have the full answers. If you have in a relationship, you don't have the full answers, but trust that it does go somewhere solid. And that is the reading for your mid-month Virgo. I love you all very much. I hope this reading helped. Until next time, peace out, my Moon Tribe.